what never fails to make you tear up or cry. One particular patient I had working in a trauma centre, 19-year-old girl I'd never seen before, and didn't know at all. She was ejected from a vehicle and then crushed because her boyfriend was trying to show off. I was training new staff, and they were at the end of their training, so I was only in the room to provide supervision and step in if necessary, and I spent the entire trauma holding her hand on her request and trying to comfort her and keep her mind off of the injuries to both of her legs. Her last words were spoken directly to me. "This really hurts. Can I go to sleep?" I cried for days after. I've never had a patient's death hit me as hard before or after. The ending of the pursuit of happiness when he finally gets the job. The struggles leading up to that point makes me tear all the time when they finally give him the position. Apparently reading through this thread, crimes. The end of Homeward Bound, especially when Shadow says, "Pet, you are like..." They went through all of that and almost died multiple times, and Shadow was just glad no Peter was off. Gets me every time. Thinking of that abandoned little kitten I found, I called him Mortimer, tried to keep him alive, bottle feeding him, keeping him warm, skin to skin, staying awake through most of the night, calling in sick day after day to stay with Kitty. Emergency vet scheduling with them, saying he probably won't make. Kitty didn't make. It's when my oldest cat slowly stalked up to the cat, nudging her nose against Mortimer's head. Mortimer didn't move, didn't react. I put him in a shoebox with his blanket, so he would not be cold, buried him, and left a little pebble for a tombstone. That was 20 years ago. I'm sorry. Mortimer, I couldn't save you. Child abuse statements. This going to get buried, but I need to get it off my chest. My kids, when they were little, my mum had a brain aneurysm. My dad spiraled into a deep depression, and they lost their home and business. At the same time, my mother-in-law has a stroke, and my in-law's finances collapsed, and they were on the verge of losing their home, too. So I worked crazy hard to be everyone's rock. I worked multiple jobs to help out my family. When I wasn't working, I was taking care of them emotionally and physically. I so drained that I didn't have much left to give to my kids. I missed soccer games and school plays and trick or treating and first words and countless other things. Thankfully, my wife was there for them, so they got to experience all the good things in childhood. I just wasn't there for it. Even when I was physically present, I was exhausted and cranky. Now they're teenagers and don't want to be around me. I just want to hold their hands, tell them that I love them, and do something fun with them. Anything at all. I just want to be with them. But my chance to hold them, teach them new things, and experience the amazing joys of childhood with them are long gone. It tears me up inside. I am bawling on the couch right now, typing this. Years, all the work paid off. Amazingly, both my mum and mother-in-law are alive with physical impairments. My parents lost their house and business, but they're in place that works for them. And my in-laws went through bankruptcy, but were able to keep their house. I'm glad it worked out, but God, it hurts, thinking about what I missed. Land Before Time, when his mother is giving him the speech and he's shouting his mother. Or man. Feels. The scene in my jar, when she is at Macaulay Culkin's Zuko and Aro's reunion in the final of Atla.